Ethical questions emerge following the revelation that American and Chinese scientists have established human cells in monkeys. This quest for knowledge and innovation reminds us of the human obsession for experiences of crossing, sometimes assimilated to a show of curiosities. Let us dive together in this fascinating world of the most incredible hybridization experiences. Let's go. Chimpanzee-human. Ethical questions around chimpanzee-human hybrids, often called humansy, arouse strong concerns. For decades, rumors have been circulating on hybrid embryos' creation experiences. One of the most controversial stories comes from a researcher who claimed that such a hybrid had been designed in the 1920s in Florida, but that the child had been euthanized thereafter due to the moral implications of experience. This story, although extremely doubtful, raises deep questions about the border between humans and animals. The chimpanzees, our closest parents in the animal kingdom, share almost 99% of their DNA with us, which makes the possibility of such a more disturbing hybrid. The ethical implications to create a living being from human cells and chimpanzees are vast, relating to human dignity and scientific morality. The scientific community continues to debate the value and dangers of this research, while the desire to understand our own human nature comes up against fundamental moral considerations. The case of chimpanzee-human hybrids remains a delicate and controversial subject. Woolly mammoth. Ethical questions around the resurrection of woolly mammoths are increasingly frequent. Scientists plan to create a hybrid embryo by integrating key characteristics of the mammoth, such as its thick fur and its adaptation to the cold, in the genome of an Asian elephant. Although the process of creating such an embryo is still at its beginnings, the researchers hope to cultivate this embryo in a synthetic uterus, thus avoiding the use of an elephant as a surrogate mother. Since the launch of the project in 2015, the number of genetic modifications has increased considerably, going from 15 to 45 mammoth DNA insertions. The possible presence of mammoths in modern ecosystems could have a significant impact, in particular by reducing local temperatures in Siberia, by contrasting the melting of permafrost and limiting the emission of greenhouse gases. Despite these promises, the creation of a living mammoth is still distant, and the ethical and ecological implications of this project arouse strong discussions. The resurrection of mammoths therefore raises fascinating questions on genetic manipulation and the conservation of species. The liger, a hybrid between a male lion and a tigress, is known for its impressive size, sometimes reaching more than 3 meters long and weighing almost 400 kg. Although lions and tigers can reproduce in nature, their geographic and behavioral separation makes these couplings rare. Most ligers are therefore the fruit of captivity manipulation, initiated in the 18th century. In 2017, it was estimated that around 100 ligers lived around the world, all from captivity crossings. Ligers, although fascinating, raise ethical concerns. Many animal protection organizations oppose their breeding due to frequent congenital deformations and health problems that may arise. Their hybridity, which mixes features of the two parental species, also leads to atypical behavior, making their integration into groups of lions or tigers difficult. Consequently, ligers are exclusively present in controlled environments. Although attractive by their appearance, their existence raises questions about morality and the need for such a crossing. The case of bear hybrids. A hunter in Nunavut made a surprising discovery by killing a bear with an unusual look, which turned out to be a hybrid between a polar bear and a grizzly. This observation, according to researchers, is becoming more and more frequent. The animal was seen near Arviat in Manitoba, where it was first taken for a polar bear or a small Arctic bear. Approaching, the researchers have noticed that he looked like a grizzly Greek, but with the color of a polar bear. This discovery highlighted the phenomenon of hybridization between these two species, which is facilitated by their genetic proximity. Climate change contributes to this interconnection because the grizzly bears migrate north, encroaching on the territory of polar bears. This crossing, known as Grola if the father is a grizzly man, represents a potential adaptation to a changing environment. Scientists question the frequency of such events and their implications for biodiversity. The hybridization between these species testifies to the effects of climate change on fauna, raising questions about the future of bears' populations in a rapidly evolving world. The Cuban crocodile. The Cuban crocodile, a medium-sized reptile, is in danger of extinction and is mainly found in two marshy areas of Cuba, the Zapata Marsh and the Youth Island. Although males can reach up to 3.5 meters, larger specimens have been observed. This crocodile faces a serious threat due to hybridization with the American crocodile, which leads to a decline of the distinctive behavioral and genetic characteristics of the species. Genetic studies reveal that a significant part of Cuban crocodiles, both in nature and captivity, presents hybridization genes with the more common species. The unique DNA loss of the Cuban crocodile could compromise its survival. The preservation of this species is crucial, not only to maintain biodiversity, but also to preserve the ecosystems it inhabits. Conservation efforts must focus on reducing hybridization and protecting its natural habitat. Cuban crocodiles play an essential role in their ecosystem, and their disappearance could have significant ecological consequences. The fight for their survival represents a major challenge for researchers and conservatives. Jeep, an intriguing crossroads. What do we get crossing a goat and a sheep? The answer is a jeep, a rare hybrid that arouses interest. Although goats and sheep often share the same pastures, hybridizations between these two species are uncommon, which testifies to their genetic distance. The little ones from this union are generally stillborn. However, isolated cases have been reported, like that of Butterfly, born in an Arizona zoo, which captured the public's attention. This jeep presents characteristics of both parents. He has his father's face and legs, while his mother transmitted his sweet wool and his longer tail to him. Butterfly, lively and playful, seems closer to a goat than a sheep. This phenomenon raises questions about the genetic and ethical implications of hybridizations. Jeeps, although fascinating, represent a challenge for breeders, because their rarity and their viability limit the attempts to reproduce. As science progresses, these hybrids could become more common, but their existence remains a captivating mystery in the animal kingdom. This fascination for hybrid creatures highlights not only our innate curiosity towards nature, but also the deep implications of our scientific interventions. The question remains, how far are we ready to go to our quest for knowledge and innovation?